howdy, everyone. Welcome back to an asthmatic episode of Texish, the show about some things Texas.
And some things cedar fever.
We've got a bluebonnet infused episode in store for you today, but first, as always,
Tito's and Shiner, gonna be an all-nighter, and I just might find her at the Whataburger line. Dance halls and women, but man, I'm wishing that I was fishing by the river tonight in Texas.
our not sponsors, still giving us zero money, a little bit of clout for reading these awesome ad reads on our show.
These are definitely fully rehearsed and written, not made up on the fly
at all. And they are true. Everything we say here is true. None of these are jokes. We mean everything.
What is our first not sponsor?
Our first not sponsor for today's episode of Texish is Allsips.
Allsips.
Do you want to bring the smell of New Mexico and fried burritos into your car? Allsips. Do you want to stop at the bathroom every moment for the rest of the day after you stop here? Allsips. It's like a literal gut bomb at every corner. Allsips. Making you smoke Camels since 1953. Allsips.
It's like 7-Eleven if 7-Eleven did a lot of meth.
Allsips. It's like a senior citizen center had sex with a 7-Eleven. Allsips. It's like Bucky.
No, Dad, don't stop here.
Allsips is literally the little derelict brother that Bucky's is always asking about, and the dad's like, we just sent him to a farm to play with all the other.
Allsips is the redheaded stepchild. If the redheaded stepchild did a lot of meth, got beat, and went to Catholic school.
Allsips,
if you know what I mean.
Allsips is you walk and you're like, am I on the set of Breaking Bad right now?
Allsips.
Employing people who never finished 8th grade since 1853. Allsips. Hasn't been clean since the day it opened. So like you walk into Allsips and you're like, what is that?
You could walk into Allsips in a hazmat suit, walk out, and still feel gross.
Yeah, like Allsips is where COVID went to die.
Allsips is where COVID was made.
Just in a vat with all the other fried burritos. Allsips. Who's our other non-sponsor for today's episode of Texish?
Our other non-sponsor is Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Writing research papers since 1992. It's Wikipedia. Anybody can write anything as long as they're accredited. Wikipedia. We definitely don't use it for all of our stuff. Wikipedia.
I definitely haven't gone to a couple of not sponsors and put sponsors of the Texish podcast before.
Wikipedia. They definitely weren't responsible for the majority of my college papers. Wikipedia.
Whose idea was Wikipedia?
Hashtag cite your sources. It's a great, okay.
The concept is great.
Here's the funny part about
like, knowledge experts in the world can share their knowledge on one thing, but it's gone a different direction.
It was actually, do you remember?
It's like the only
Encyclopedia Britannica?
No, because I'm not 80 years old.
So back in the day when you wanted knowledge, you had to go to a library where they keep books. You had to find a specific book about the knowledge you were looking for.
Yeah, we had a library in Andrews.
So whenever you wanted to learn about like a country or an animal, you had to get an encyclopedia, and they'd have like a little entry about like platypuses, and like, oh, there's a
Burka.
You're like, oh, platypuses are insane animals.
Yeah,
true story.
Really?
Oh, dude,
they're also way smaller than you think.
Platypuses are like. They're that marsupial.
Yeah.
It also lays eggs.
Yeah.
And it
has a poisonous claw like a cocaine nail.
It looks like a duck to beaver.
I think that is what happened.
And now there's this insane animal running around the Australian outback.
Yeah, well, kind of paddling.
Yeah, paddling around. Yeah. They're cute as hell, though.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Yeah, that's part of why they're crazy. Anyway, so you grab out P, right? You flip it open.
Yeah.
And you find the little entry about that. Encyclopedia Britannica was like, well, let's computerize this stuff. So you used to buy CDs that had all of this stuff cataloged on it.
Yeah.
And you would have to get a new one and update it as things would progress. Wikipedia was like, I'm just going to do this on the internet. And like anyone can contribute.
Yeah,
it's just cool. It's just cool. We'll have all the knowledge here.
I like how it's common knowledge that Wikipedia is a horrible source for a lot of things because people can just corrupt everything, but it's still the first thing you see if you Google anything about anybody, because it's like, oh, here's the Wikipedia page, read that. And I still click it like, this is facts.
Right.
Anyway.
And we all just we basically just assume that it's right. We don't.
I
I definitely assume it's right. I mean,
I just
like,
live life believing it is, even though I know it's not.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, what happened one time in Texas history?
Once upon a time in Texas history, the Maceo organization ran Galveston.
The what?
The Maceo organization.
Are you back on the mafia?
I'm back on the mafia thing.
The Maceo crime family.
The
Go back
Maceo
to the
crime
previous
family
episode of Texish to learn more about that.
I liked it so much. I'm sure
the
looked
Wikipedia page was long.
Oh, it's so long.
Okay.
So what I really kind of wanted to talk about more than anything else is just like the illegal gambling aspect of it. So the Maceo organization, as you know from our last episode, was run by Sam Maceo, who's the brother, right? And the reason I'm highlighting this is because their illegal gambling operations, their casinos on the Galveston Boardwalk, is the reason Galveston was what it was.
Like so hot and hip, right?
So by the 1920s, this is after Quinn got arrested. This is after all of that. The two brothers, Sam and Rosario, took control and transitioned the Beach Gang into their own personal organization. And
we're Sammy and the Beach Gang.
By the 30s, they ran the Downtown Gang as well.
Okay.
They expanded the extortion system that Quinn had established, further developing the organization's political connections.
Nice.
And this is why I think it's funny, because their ties to political figures included the governor, James V. Alfred, William Lewis Moody Jr., and one-time Galveston Mayor Herbert Y. Cartwright, eventually emerging as a prominent figure in politics and entrepreneurship themselves. Right? After Prohibition, Sam capitalized the popularity of gambling in Texas and started building an illegal gambling empire in Galveston City and Galveston County.
Love it.
Teaming up with notorious gangsters Mo Dalitz, Frank Needy, and Albert Anastasia.
You know the guys.
Although those figures never operated rackets in the city or county.
Okay.
So Maceo was...
That we know of.
This organization was unique in that they operated within city limits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because like in other, like Chicago, LA, the whole thing, if you were running the gambling part of most mob activity happened outside city limits. So
absolutely,
there was no
100%. Yeah. And so eventually this organization gets found out, right? They've gotten too big. There's too much money. There's too many political ties. So they end up getting, and I have to find this over here.
They had too many political ties?
They had too many political ties. So,
like it was just too obvious that they were
yeah.
impacting
They were impacting
legislation.
laws. So the syndicate that had created these lavish casino districts along the boardwalk, featuring venues such as the Chili Bowl and the Kemah Den. We'll come back to that during the 1950s. The Attorney General and the Texas Rangers finally shut it down.
Nice.
So even after Sam Maceo has left, has fled because of the narcotics charge.
Yeah.
The Texas
and was
Rangers.
Was that weed at that point? Like, what narcotics were there?
I'm sure it was, weed, pills, whatever it was.
Were pills
so in the 1950s,
pills weren't invented until like the 1990s.
I'm pretty sure people took like opium pills. Or maybe I don't know. Whatever.
Look it up.
Narcotics. I'll look it up on Wikipedia.
Narcotics. Okay.
So in the 1950s, the whole event. The reason this is interesting to me is because it took until the 1950s for the Texas Rangers to run this giant sting operation.
That was obvious.
It was obvious. Yeah. Like they went in after, this is post repealing Prohibition. This is post Sam leaving. This is there's still this giant.
There's 15 years where the mob is still running Galveston,
gambling, all these things.
And I'm sure the head of the Rangers was like, guys, stop gambling.
Stop gambling. And they were trying to, they were like, well, like, what if we don't?
What about the prostitutes?
What if we don't?
They're like, no, we can't take them down if we're in the building.
So in the 1950s, the Attorney General and the Texas Rangers finally shut it down.
They ruined all the fun.
And because they shut it down, this is the big event, because they shut down the illegal activities.
Yeah.
Basically, Galveston
was wiped out.
Yeah. All of the commerce stopped because
also,
you can't have fun in Galveston
that
anymore.
Education is lying, because when you're growing up in Texas history, it's always like, Galveston was supposed to be this big place. Then a hurricane took it over. Turns out it was the bigots at the Texas Rangers organization that ruined Galveston.
Which is all to say, F the police.
Well, just F the Texas.
F the Texas Rangers.
But not actually.
But not actually. They're
look.
Like, hey.
Nuance.
You know what? Nuance. Some police.
Not all of them.
Do you want to hear about our small town?
Not every Texas Ranger was horrible. Just the ones that ruined the fun at Galveston. Yes.
There you go. Howdy, y'all. Normally, we bring you our not sponsors, but today we are excited to talk about an actual sponsor. Hydrate. by Good On Ya. You can go to gooonyaorganic.com to get Hydrate, which is an all-organic hydration powder supplement. It contains only natural organic ingredients and no sugar at all. It's made of lemon juice, coconut water, stevia, and organic sea minerals. This is the best hydration product I personally have ever used. I take it every single day when I wake up and after my sauna, and I feel incredible. Completely organic ingredients. A good friend of ours introduced us to this, and I can't go a day without it. So get yourself some Good On Ya. Get yourself hydrated.
Look, it's not the 1920s anymore. Everybody has a business or a startup of some sort, whether it's a side project, whether you've ditched the silver spoon and are going all in on your side hustle to make it a full-blown business, or you have a small business already, but you've hit a plateau in growth and you're trying to find different ways to turn your marketing dollars into legitimate revenue. Well, Creators Collective is here for you. They are a full-service marketing agency offering marketing, branding, logo design, copy, video, social media management, anything custom to your business or your startup or your side hustle that will help you grow your bottom line, grow your brand reach, and just feel like you have the best dang company ever because your marketing assets are frankly better than everybody else in the game. So what you need to do right now is go to creatorscollective.us and contact them to schedule a call and find how Creators Collective can help you grow your business for the long term. That's Creators Collective. Schedule a call and just grow your freaking business with marketing that freaking works. Who's our small town?
Our small town of the week is Kemah, Texas.
Kemah Boardwalk, baby.
Kemah Boardwalk.
Great burgers.
Which is where all of this got started.
Nice.
So Kemah is a city in the U.S. state of Texas, southeast of Houston along the West Galveston Bay. The population was 1,773 at the 2010 census.
Very nice.
Originally a small fishing town, the city has become a tourist destination for the area's restaurants and attractions, which are contained within the Kemah Entertainment District. It ranked top tourism board stuff.
In America or just Texas?
Just Texas.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm not sure if that's an American list.
So it was originally bought after the Texas War. One of the big, what-to-dos.
Wait, which one?
Ended up bought it. So that was Michael Goldrich.
Cool name for this guy.
Right. Anyway, so he buys Kemah.
Yeah.
It starts off as one thing, becomes another. And I just wanted to highlight that Kemah is where they all got started gambling.
That's amazing.
And because I looked up Kemah.
I just want to wonder if when they were gambling, they're like, guys.
Yeah.
Like the prostitutes, great. The drugs, great. But hear me out. What if we had like an entertainment, fun amusement park here one day? And all of them just had this long-term vision of like, at some point, we'll have enough money to put a Ferris wheel on a big dock.
And that's how boardwalks are made.
That's made. Heck
but,
yeah.
that's pretty much
But no, dude, the Kemah Boardwalk is actually really fun.
Pretty dope.
Like,
well, I wasn't joking. The Texas Board of Tourism ranks it as like one of the #1 destinations.
Well, here's what's surprising. Because you go to Galveston, and it's like if Allsup's took a dump on the coast.
It's like if Allsup's was a city.
If Allsup's was a city,
it would be Galveston.
But
because there's always flooding.
Is kind of like if Bucky's had a town.
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit. It's clean. Yeah. The boardwalk is fun. There's this one burger spot that has amazing burgers. There's fun stuff to do.
Lots of fun stuff about Kemah.
Great Kemah. What'd you do with Texish Goes to Kemah? Anyway, you want to hear about our badass?
Who's our badass of the week?
Our badass of this week is none other than Selena Marie Gomez.
Selena Marie Gomez.
Who was from Grand Prairie, Texas.
Grand Prairie.
So Selena Marie Gomez is an American singer, actress, producer, and businesswoman. Huge makeup empire. Yeah. Gomez began her acting career on the children's television series Barney and Friends in 2002 and was on there until 2004. As a teenager, she rose to prominence starring as Alex Russo on the Disney Channel hit series Wizards of Waverly Place. Alongside her television career, Gomez has appeared in films like Another Cinderella Story, Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie, Ramona and Beezus, haven't seen that one, Monte Carlo, Spring Breakers, that was a breakout role, also very odd. It was weird because it was like
Spring Break,
but it was like all these nice Disney actresses, but then it was like, why are your boobs
it's like,
out?
We're grown now.
Yeah, like what's happening? And you're watching it with
you're ruining my childhood.
Yeah, you're watching with your mom. Like I thought it was like a Disney movie. Anyway. Remember when James Franco like sucked the pistol off? Anyway, Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising, and The Dead Don't Die. She also voiced Mavis in Hotel Transylvania. She also has been fighting and overcoming lupus half of this time.
Yeah.
wild.
Wow.
Super wild. And yeah, she started a makeup empire. It's like the first or second best selling makeup in the world. Like the beauty brand that she owns.
You've got like Kardashian, her.
So suck it, Hailey Bieber. Anyway, Team Selena. This does not count as bullying. Throwing it out. I'm just going to make it clear I'm Team Selena, not just because I'm Texan. I also didn't know this. She like helped write and produce the hit Netflix series 13 Reasons Why.
I actually knew that.
I did not know that. Yeah. So just shout out to Selena. Like quietly has been moving and grooving and doing a lot of really big stuff. She's one of the only artists to ever like have a Grammy and Emmy and like just a hit in everything she does. Also, her philanthropic work is amazing. The stuff that she does with the We organization is amazing. So
I do like that organization.
All around, an amazing person, exemplifies what it means to be a Texan as a famous person. And I give her a lot of credit for that.
Hey, Selena Gomez.
Yeah. And Bieber's losing out. Anyway, again, I'm not biased. I'm just saying.
Not flexing, just Texan.
Exactly. So the Oscars were last night.
The Oscars.
And if you've been watching for at least a little bit or a while, we did our own rendition of the Oscars, the Willies. Kind of like Texas Update.
Pretty sure
partially
as many people watch the Willies as the Oscars.
Exactly. It was broadcast everywhere. But we've talked about it. We're consumers of movies and film.
We like story.
We like story. But like with Texas Update, we do Texas Update because we just hate SNL Weekend Update
lately. Yeah,
it's not very good. So we're trying to do a version of it that's hopefully a little bit better.
It's funny for us.
It misses sometimes, but we're trying. The Willies was sort of one, there's a door, so no one can slap us. Number two, the Oscars are weird.
The Oscars are odd. It is a weird thing.
And I can't tell, were they this weird when we were kids?
I don't.
Or am I an adult now and just find it kind of atrocious that there's all these like fake.
So this thing is
relationships. They get up on stage and they act like they're friends, but they're not. Maybe they are. Maybe really obvious. Yeah. The jokes are horrible. I don't know where all the good writers went. Like,
it's not to the Oscars.
They clearly don't hire them at the Oscars because the writing is horrible, horrendous.
I have my own theory. There was a year that Neil Patrick Harris hosted, and there was like a lot of music. It was huge dancing numbers.
Yeah, because Neil Patrick Harris.
I think that's when it jumped the shark, so to speak.
Okay.
But I think as you get older, you get more perspective. You care about different things.
Yeah.
Like personally, I'm going through this weird thing where I'm having a really hard time like watching shows that I used to really enjoy.
Yeah. Like what? Like what shows?
Like Parks and Rec even.
Really?
I love Parks and Rec, but I'll throw on an episode and I'm good after like an episode. Okay. I used to be able to sit there and watch just 2 or 3 and like I could leave it on all day if I wanted.
Is it not funny anymore or have you also just seen too much of it?
I think I'm just older.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Brett Cooper doesn't think so, but
I think I would rather, read a book or go outside. Like I'm just my interests have shifted.
Yeah.
And I think it's part of getting older, you get perspective. So you look at something like the Oscars, which I'm all about recognition within a field.
Yeah.
I think the James Beard Awards are amazing.
So good.
I think that there are so many
Michelin stars are a little odd.
They're a little odd, but they don't
Michelin
do a big
stars are
show.
the Oscars of,
in a way, yeah.
In a way.
Because the Oscars seem to me to be just this like commoditized projection of
a little pretentious,
a little bit out of touch.
Yeah.
Like all of Hollywood
in general
in general.
Everything Everywhere All at Once winning so much. Yeah. That's great.
That's amazing.
For the first time in a while, most people agree with the selection.
Well, and Everything Everywhere All at Once won the most Oscars of any
movie ever.
And deserves it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's one of the few movies I watched multiple times.
Yeah, and Lena Dunham got Best Actor.
I know, right? That was amazing. Crossing gender lines.
Shouts out. Well, gender's in the contract. Anyway.
Oh, Jesus. We are so
canceled. Anyway.
Canceled before we started.
Maybe we should be on Daily Wire. Anyway. No, not really.
Dude. Anyway, so yeah.
So I turned on...
The Oscars are weird. The
Oscars are weird. I turned them on. When I cook, sometimes I'll turn something on. And I thought, well, I want to see what's going on with the Oscars. I'll turn it on. And I made it 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
And had to turn it off.
Sure.
Because it really is like if you took all the worst parts about Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, like these absolute puppet sellouts who aren't funny anymore, can't say anything that actually has any material or truth behind it. It's just these fake virtue signaling, weird, awkward, not funny jokes.
Yeah.
And that was 3 hours of it. I can't handle it. It's
I think think I'm kind of
The Willies are clearly
Willies
better
are clearly
than
the Oscars.
the Oscars. Clearly.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think there's any hope for the Oscars,
Yeah.
or do you think as time goes on, they're going to matter less and less?
I think as we transition from consuming mostly commercialized media to things that, consumers.
Yeah.
Like part of the beauty of when we live is you kind of get to choose what you consume and you have the lowest barrier to entry to producing something.
Yeah, true.
So at this point, like anybody can make a great short film or put on a podcast, and that's better than a lot of the things that Hollywood's pumping out.
True. Very true. Except for A24.
Except for A24.
Except for A24.
Take my money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like The Whale was a
Was-
A24 production. And for real, shouts out Brendan Fraser.
Shouts out Brendan Fraser.
He should have gotten it for Looney Tunes Back in Action, but I will take the fact that he finally got one.
This was way overdue, and I'm so glad he finally got his.
The Mummy Returns, come on, but
any of the mummies.
heretofore.
Dude.
Ipso
Anyway.
facto.
Ipso facto.
Yeah. Oscars are weird. Also, I want to get her name right. Is it Joy Yu? Who the actress that won from?
I'm not even going to try.
Will you Google it for me really quick? Because I don't want to get this part wrong.
Okay, for Best Actress?
Her Best Actress.
Okay, because she was in Crouching Tiger. And
Yeah, I mean, she's an amazing actress.
She's an
already.
amazing actress.
Amazing. She was in Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Agents. That's the spoof.
That's
all of the... Okay, Michelle Yao.
Michelle Yao. Yeah, I kept saying. So NPR put out a headline that said Michelle Yao first.
I don't know, one of the two.
Michelle Yao.
Yeah.
First woman who identifies as Asian to win an Oscar.
Wait, who did that?
NPR.
No.
Yeah. That's a real headline. NPR. Thank you. Okay. Again, we're not a Daily Wire production, but woman who identifies as Asian? Just another, like, I'm almost mad on her behalf.
You know what?
As far as
I identify as a man with a 10-inch. That's what I identify as.
Anyway, so the Oscars are weird. I think the Willies are going to take them over.
The Willies are taking over.
I just can't with the... Yeah, they made the carpet champagne color to make it seem more approachable. It's the Oscars. It's not approachable.
Listen, just go all out and don't. I would be okay with it if they just embrace the fact that they're out of touch and insane.
Yeah,
and just be like, "F you, we're movie stars. This is our night."
If the headline of the Oscars
so happy
was like, we're gonna
I'm
get
proud.
all of the crazy,
everybody drunk and high
sociopathic,
and just, like,
drug addicted, virtue signaling actors in one room and have a party, I would watch that.
I would watch that. Go
Just
one of
let
two
it-
ways. Either
yeah.
stop broadcasting it or make them all
Just
take drugs
turn
and
it
get
up
drunk
to 100.
and turn it up to 100.
Turn it up to 100.
All right.
That's all we want.
That's all we want.
So yeah, that's probably our time. But I can't say enough.
I know.
Oscars are so weird.
Oscars are weird.
Forced.
But you know what? If they went away now, I'd be happy.
Do you think the Oscars identify as gold or? Bye, y'all.
Howdy, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for enjoying this episode of Texish. If you liked it, subscribe. That way, anytime new reels or new episodes come out, you'll be the first one to know. It also, frankly, help us keep doing something that we love. We hope you love it too. If you've been listening for a while or you're a new listener, go to our store at texishpod.com. We've got a couple of t-shirts there. You can see one of them right here. They're really good, really high quality, and frankly, we just think they're the best. So go buy a shirt, make sure you subscribe, and thanks for tuning in.
Bye, y'all.